and Kam Shing Yu has been their biggest try scorer. The opportunity to travel through 5 continents, 10 most beautiful countries in the world, 10 destinations. It's a moment they will never forget. A chance to make history. And Ireland, the draw against Uruguay, the only blemish on that magnificent-looking card, and they took care of business this morning against Germany. Alongside me, former England captain Rob Vickerman, and, well, Hong Kong got it done as well.
They did indeed, Willie, but this is a completely different atmosphere. This whole stadium ends up being a home disadvantage at times for this Hong Kong team. So many times over the years, we've seen these pivotal moments where they get crushed by the pressure, and I dare say, it's not one monkey on the back, it's a whole troop, and this Irish team are looking strong.
Well, the opportunity to be involved as a professional sports person, to make lifelong friendships from other players, to live in the hotels and to understand the expectations of being a professional sports person on the line as Hong Kong kick off. Ireland will get first possession through Dardis, the captain. Conroy on the outside, and be a change in tactics with these two teams as well. Ireland will want to try and move the Hong Kong team around. They believe they've got an advantage out wide with pace, and now the two sixes come together, and Dardis and Kato Lee for Hong Kong. Kennedy releases to Conroy. They know what a threat he is, and immediately there's two Hong Kong defenders that are there. Nice pass from McNulty. Horan. More players out to the left, and now they take it there, the change of angle. McNulty goes over to secure possession. It's quickly cleared by Dardis. Into the midfield again, and the knock on there. Terrific defence from Hong Kong.
Really good defence. You can see just how much the exertion's taken out of both teams as these width are building. The Irish should have a really strong passing game, but that one pass just sliding away from O'Shea, it meant he couldn't get his hands up to meet it. Really are looking to work each other out. Almost the chess of the game of sevens can come through. Imagine the nerves of playing for a place on the HSBC World 7 Series.
Kato Lee feeds and gives it off to McQueen. Alex McQueen been out of the 7 scene for a little while, but him and his brother caught on duty. They answered the call. Not the Irish call, the Hong Kong call to come back and play. And so Lee, Kato Lee out to Webb in jersey number 11. This is Alex McQueen wearing jersey number 4. Still inside their own half, Hong Kong. And Ireland just happy to have the 6 defenders up in the line, pushing up and across. Here's the captain, Max Woodward. The crowd enjoy when he gets the ball. The roar comes up. Nothing really happening there for Kato Lee, so he comes back to where the big boppers are, where the forwards are, and Woodward says, let's get out of here. Again, good passes. It's been a real feature of this qualifying tournament is the crispness and the accuracy of the passes as Kam Shing Yu gets in, and that's a great steal. What a tremendous steal at the right time, and now he makes up for that. O'Shea gives it back to Horan. First receiver is Conroy. Conroy almost got through and now pops the ball up. No one in behind. And here comes the first try for Harry McNulty in front of the packed out South Stand.
Well, you might not recognise this man without the ponytail he previously had. Cut it off to give him to a charity such as his stature. But Harry McNulty, usually the guy that gets the turnovers, but take a look at Billy Dardis. He puts the big shot in, then gets the turnover, but not happy to get the penalty. He steals the ball, and off go Ireland. Lovely passing inside. McNulty is a magnet to the ball. He's never far away. He is the chassis of this Irish wagon, and McNulty gets a rare try.
Conversion is good, and you can see that Jordan Conroy, because he scored so many tries, he drew in 2 defenders. That's what created the gap.
It's a really good idea. Get your gas men in the middle of the pitch. It makes you really scared as a defender, thinking at any point they can run around you, so people often overcommit, and McNulty supports it beautifully.
Ireland beaten by Japan 12 months ago in the semi-final. They regrouped, they've come back, and they are desperate to be a core team. Morrison tidies up the ball. The counter-ruck comes in from the Irish, and now it comes back to Woodward. Again, it's the tackle from O'Shea, but a little high, and they'll just slow things down here. 40,000 fans, we know who they want to win.
Exactly, the sound of the boos when Ireland scored. It's not often Ireland aren't appreciated on a rugby field, often the second favourites of most nations, but certainly are a team that looks so comfortable, even defending Ireland. They know their systems and patterns. They play a huge amount of rugby together, not on the same World Series, but they play a lot of invitational rugby, so they know each other very well.
Morrison goes high and brings the ball down. Kato Lee asks for a runner, and it's in the form of Alex McQueen. Coverdale into the contact, looking for the steal. Referee says 6 green, didn't roll away. And they'll go to another line-out.
There's absolutely nothing wrong with what O'Shea was doing over the ball, but if the tackler doesn't roll away, it makes it very difficult to compete over the ball, which is exactly what a ruck is. The breakdown needs to be a contest. You can see when the tackle's made, that is not making enough effort to roll away, and that impeded Woodward, and therefore was penalised.
Here's one of the players, Michael Coverdale, who was injured in that tackle. He'll be disappointed that he might not play any further part in this game, but he's been terrific over the 3 days. 15 carries, you can see. A real workhorse.
You need people like that in sevens. You often celebrate the try scorers, but it's the grafters in the middle that make it all happen.
Ireland with more possession, and that's a little high up around the neck area. They're going to learn, either team, once they get onto the world circuit, Rob, that there's no toleration for anything up around the shoulders, the neck and the head.
Yeah, they're trying to do a hold-up tackle to keep the ball off the floor, but you've got to be very careful of those arms rising up, and referee's rightly very hot on that. You can see the hold-up play. Wood was as strong as he is, it's just far too obvious that's around his neck, and as soon as McNulty's knee hits the floor, it's the tackle that must release. Who'd be a coach, Willie? Imagine what is going through Anthony Eddie's head now. He knows about performance systems, but my word, this is one big game.
He turned up looking like a 30-year-old in Hong Kong. That's what coaching does to you. A nice little cut here. Halfway through went Terry Kennedy. Midfield set, they bounce back to the left-hand side. Good pass from Horan. A little wider to McNulty, and now out to Fitzpatrick. Tackle is made.
And here's a man that knows pressure. Rugby World Cup Sevens, coach of Wales, Paul John, looking on this role in Hong Kong. Fantastic opportunity. He's looking at his glasses, I hope he can see it.
Well, he coached him for that victory in 2009 in Dubai, and he was named Welsh Coach of the Year. Ireland will now look to try and inflict more pain here. Going across is O'Shea, and O'Shea says, oh yay!
Well, again, the crowd booing, but if you turn over your ball from a line-out, that was a wonderful pass, shifted across, and then the angle that O'Shea runs cannot be stopped by Webb. Forwards doing their thing, they decide if they're going to score, and the backs decide where. That is fantastic finishing, 45-degree angle run, worked a dream.
2 converted tries means that Ireland leads at the break by 2 tries, 14 points. Hong Kong yet to score.
This is our ball, guys. We don't do it until we're absolutely have to be down off the floor, they quick, they moving it fast. You're going to keep working early. Keep working early, boys. You did this. Come on, but we have to start well this half. We have to get the ball, we have to go hard. Right? When it's on to come out to there, just trust the hand. Just trust to put in the space. But we don't have to take it back into them. Come on, lads. Come on, yeah. First job.
Nice and direct on it all the time. Offensively, make sure we finish things off. We piggyback them down the pitch there a little bit. No more penalties. Tackle right out. Alright, someone else can get on the ball.
Empty the tank, boys.
It's wonderful insight half-time. Get really good access into the huddles, and just that kind of calmness around the Irish team there that really makes you feel as though they've got control of this. Conversely, Paul John trying to rally the troops, get this team going. They know how much of a psychological barrier is in front of them. But this is a massive moment. These next 7 minutes, life-defining. You're about to create a huge amount of memories, but you've got to put in a serious shift first.
Seven minutes from determining who will become the 15th core team in the 2020 HSBC Sevens World Series for next year, as Hong Kong look to break through. It's a nice run from O'Brien. Out to Kato Lee. He finds Morrison. It's been good for them in the first 7 minutes there. Plenty of work from the wing three-quarter. There's his Woodward. Step from the Queen. Can't get through the tackle, but throws the pass up. Woodward needed to offload there. That was a big tackle coming in from Terry Kennedy. No shoulders used, and they get on with it quickly. They tap and go through O'Brien. Gets to the sweeper and offloads to Lee. Kato Lee being driven backwards by Foster Horan, and now the steal. Good night. Air Jordan time. Jordan Conroy's in again. Conroy, rather. He is a superstar in the making.
Oh, this guy, if indeed Ireland do the inevitable, he is going to be right up there with the stars of the Sevens World Series. The turnover, and then look at him go. Wonderful player, Jordan Conroy. We've said his name for many years, going way back to Rugby Europe qualification, thinking, who is this guy? He is unreal.
10 tries in Hong Kong, and he wouldn't have scored too many easier than that. Like a thief in the night. The ball was there, the steal was on, and he hardly got out of first gear.
Sometimes he doesn't need to. He is such a wonderful athlete. Out and out, raw pace.
Names like Tui Mumba, Isles, Baker, now Conroy possibly, and they're 5 minutes away from that island. The Irish dream of being a core team. Boy, they've put some work in over the last 12 months. It was a 3-year program. This just didn't happen overnight. They knew they had to go through the European system to qualify, to come through the grades, and they've done exactly that. Heartbreak last year. A chance possibly to be in the world stage, or on the world stage. Don't count Hong Kong off, though. They've won every single game here this weekend, and they're not done. As they move it out to Tom McQueen. Gets rid of a couple. Flirts with the sideline. O'Shea says, can I have the ball? And the referee says yes. Oh, he's got to be careful.
Well, that looks really bad, and I can see why the players are acting as they are, because John O'Shea got the turnover, slightly animated, and I believe accidentally his foot ended up on the chest. I really hope that's not a stamp. It's not in his nature, it's not in the team's nature, but that looks very bad.
His chest on purpose. There's no contact with the head, but it's going to be a yellow card, and I'm going to reverse the penalty. Okay? Yellow card. On the chest, a little higher.
Well, the referee's words there, very clear. And clearly understand what it looks like, needs to be explained.
No sweeper for Ireland. You put the 6 up in the line, and they've got to identify that, Hong Kong. 7 on 6 for the next 2 minutes. They've got to make it count to Hong Kong as they set the ball through Hood. Clash at the breakdown, and that's terrific play from Harry McNulty. Went in there, knew that he had all rights to put his foot and to place the ball backwards on his side, and that's what they've done in error now, though. Means that they'll come back possibly. Referee a little late to get the call. As you know, Rob, been in the UK, that they have worked on this program for 3 years. They were disappointed last year. They've gone away. But this is a well-drilled and well-skilled Irish side.
Oh, it's an incredible story, Willie. These guys started at the very bottom of Rugby Europe B League. They were playing many countries that wouldn't even assume they'd play rugby. They started right at that bottom of the entry point. They've progressed, they've developed, they've stayed the same, and those guys in shot have documented it all online. It's an incredible story, and they're very, very close to making history.
Into the hands of McQueen, puts on the afterburners and then gives it to his brother Alex. So the two McQueens in tandem. Now it's Webb caught in the contact. Look at Ireland, even with 6 players, still willing to battle at that breakdown. And Hong Kong have had to send in 4 players to clear it. That means that there's 3 out here on the left, and one of them is Jones, Lee Jones. Gives the ball out, now the pick and go. He's going to be isolated, but quickly Jones is there to help. Now it's cleared from Morrison. McQueen to McQueen. McQueen to McQueen. Guess who scored? Hong Kong responds.
And just listen to that noise. The crowd have erupted. Tom McQueen scores after some great work by his brother in the middle. Shifting the ball across and then just riding the defenders. Get on that inside. 2 Irish players lay on the floor. And when you've only got 6 men, you're not going to stop tries being scored.
Well, Rob, as a former player and now part of the World Rugby commentary team, it's unbelievable watching these teams in the hotels and what they experience and just what they're going to get for the next year if they are able to come through as a core team, either side.
It's an incredible opportunity, Willie, and it's why people lie their bodies on the line. Everything that they've got now, they've got to see through. Heart rates will be flying, but they've got to stay controlled.
Well, they get it out to the man McNulty that got them the advantage of the overlap, and now this is Levy, Adam Levy, ball on the inside. Is this the moment that's going to send Ireland as a core team in 2020? Terry Kennedy, take a bow.
Terry Kennedy, another guy who gets the headlines when he's playing in the lower tiers, the Rugby Europe competitions. Levy with the draw. Terry Kennedy, furiously fast. The way he runs, perhaps not as much guile as Conroy, but he's just as quick. He is the unsung heroes at time. This is a wonderful story from the Irish. Before they take over, first they've got to take part, and smiles on faces show they're nearly there.
They are so close to victory here, Ireland. Started on Friday night for them with a good win against Jamaica, and then on Saturday, the 2 games against Uruguay and Russia. Quarter-final against Russia, they thrashed them 47-0, 19-10 against Germany. And now 28-7, and the restart will go deep. And Hong Kong will get a penalty at the halfway if they put it down, but McQueen's going to run it. He only had to tap that down, and they were back to the halfway, so Hong Kong wanting to continue their moment on the big stage here in front of the capacity crowd. And look one way and then go the other. Hong Kong have been terrific over the weekend. The kick passes just bounced up. Conroy is there and drags them into touch. He manages to keep the ball in play, and Keenan is on there. O'Brien secures it for Hong Kong. And now Webb, big pass plucked out of the air. Driven to the ground, and now the clean out. The referee says there's still time here with the penalty. A tap and go. Jamie Hood gives it to Neville. Morrison Get some valuable meters, and all the players out here to the right side showing the tenacity and the class of Hong Kong. It might be too little, too late, but they want to get in front of the south stand again if they can to score their second try of this match into the hands of McQueen. He offloads to Hood. Jamie Hood's been around for a number of years, and into the contact goes Neville. Ball is there, they've lost it forward. Knocked on, says the referee. And the Five Nations have arrived into the World Rugby 7 Series. Ireland have made history. And in the 20 years, only 10 tournaments they were invited to. And Irish eyes are smiling.
Oh, what a nation to have involved. Get your passports ready, fellas. You're about to stamp it with not only destinations, but some pretty incredible memories. I've seen this journey go from a long way, Ireland. Very emotional to think they started just 4 years ago at the basement, and now they're in the penthouse.
Ireland 28, Hong Kong 7. The dream, and that's what we always say to our kids. Dreams come true, and it takes a lot of hard work, and there's the other side of it. The anguish, the disappointment, all the training, all the sacrifices that have been made. And they played their part in this final, Hong Kong.
And it's heartbreaking, Willie. Sport is a cruel mistress. You look at this, see the elation of the Irish, but you've got to feel for this Hong Kong team. Once again, the pressures of playing at home. The annual, look at that emotion. Oh, wonderful scenes.
They can't believe it. O'Shea. Without a doubt, they have entertained the crowds over the last 3 days, and I don't know anybody that doesn't enjoy an Irish win, even when they beat the All Blacks.
There we go, Willie.
It's always something that's very, very special. And there are the tears of joy. Let's head down to Kautanaana.
Well, William Dardis, congratulations on the win. I mean, you went so close last year. I mean, tell me about some of the ups and downs to get the win today.
It was a lot. Yeah, we're just delighted with this. To reflect on the last 16 months, 24 months, it's been a real long, hard road. But to finally do it, I think we all just stood on the pitch there and just couldn't move. We're just speechless. It's class. It's class.
What's been the difference, you think, this weekend compared to last year?
I think I said before the tournament we might have underestimated it, and that didn't mean the teams. I meant the whole tournament, the 3-day tournament, and how competitive. And one thing Anthony said to us before the tournament was every team's going to be desperate, so it's going to be extra hard, but it's class. It's unreal. I'm speechless now.
Just tell me about the walk after Terry Kennedy got his try, because that was the real sealer. What was flowing through?
Yeah, I ran up, stuck that kick with my hands in the air. That's being able to smile during a game is unreal. I think we all spoke about it months ago, and we all dream about it. So for that to actually happen is unreal.
One last question. Ireland on the World 7 Series. How's that sound?
It won't sink in for a couple of weeks, but I'd say we'll be out partying, and then we might realise. So yeah, we'll enjoy this, celebrate tonight, and then think about it in the next few months. But I think we've got the Olympic qualifiers in a few months, so that's our next aim, to qualify for that this summer. Be 2 big boxes ticked.
Fair play, Cap. Congratulations. Go up there and get that award. You deserve it. Well done.
Thanks very much. Cheers.
No, he's a terrific captain, is William Dardis. No question about that. He's led from the front, and they have been waiting for this moment, and has come to fruition. The reality will sink in, and they deserve to party.
Oh, absolutely, Willie. Hong Kong's about to turn green. But I tell you what, I'm even getting emotional just knowing how much these guys have put in, the journey they've been on. And when you see the sights there and Harry McNulty crying, he's one of the originals from right at the basement. It's incredible what they're doing.
The qualifiers for the World Series is Ireland, and Hong Kong turns green for a night.
Well, here I am at the famed Hong Kong steps. Someone here Sunday night will be lifting the trophy in this incredible stadium in So Kom Po. And for this expert view, we have got a wonderful story where statistic matches the French Renaissance that we saw in Vancouver. Incredible to see France make their first final since 2012, and it was remarkable how the statistics back that up. Once again, looking at their performance, you can see Las Vegas was not a good place for them. They came